Hello, traders. I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome back to Your Nifty Guy. In today's video, we are going to break down the important levels and setups for tomorrow's market so that you are fully prepared before the opening bell. I'll also share what I am watching closely on the charts and how it could impact our trade plans. So make sure to you watch till the very end. And if you find value, don't forget to like the video, share it with your trading friends or circles, and subscribe to stay updated with my daily Nifty analysis. Right. And on that note, we'll start with the analysis part. As usual, the video will be divided into two parts. But before I start any discussion on the charts, my usual word of caution to everyone out there. If you are into trading Nifty and you trade using options buying, just like me, make sure to shift to the next week's options. Tomorrow is the weekly expiry. So if you are trading tomorrow's expiry, do not trade in tomorrow's options till about 2 p.m. Only after 2 p.m. if you get a hero zero trade based on the expiry special setup that we have, only then trade in the current in tomorrow's expiry. Otherwise, rest entire if anything happens as per your setup, as per your plan, make sure to trade it in the following week's expiry. You might be paying a slightly higher premium for your entry, but then this is in the best interest of safeguarding your capital. All right. So the disclaimer is done, and now we'll jump straight to the analysis. Now, as anticipated, we opened with a gap down. Now, that was the knee-jerk reaction to the news, although there was air which was cleared about the H1B1 visa ta fee which is there. It is not for, it is only for new applicants, and it's a one-time fee, not an annual fee. And other things, clarifications had come in, but then markets opened with a gap down and immediately recovered, filled the gap. Now, today's market is also very relevant because it shows you how patience can actually prove very, very good for you. So, I took a trade very late in the day, right? I took only one trade today, and that was very, very late in the day. Now, our plan was to not take any trades in this particular zone. We were short below this, long above this. So this is what we had discussed in yesterday's video. Now, markets opened immediately, recovered, filled the gap. Can we take any long entry directly over here? Absolutely not. The markets did go up. Anybody who would have blindly bought calls at the start would have made money. But then we are not here to make blind bets. We are here to make informed decisions, right? So the market structure, if you observe very, very closely, the market structure was after the gap filling, the market structure was extremely sideways. There was no clear structure change until around here, right? I'm sure you guys are follow. Let me just quickly draw the right. Now we'll follow the lines, right? So markets opened, went up. Now around here, if you see, there is no proper structure. This is a sideways market. So can you take any trade around here? Absolutely not. It is inside our no trading zone as well as the market structure is not giving us any entry. Now around here, the market structure changed to a lower high, lower low. This low was all these for subsequent or the prior lows were taken out. Then again, another higher low was formed. So that changed the structure around here. But then immediately market again changed the structure. Had this low been broken, then we would have formed or went ahead with a confirmed structure, which is a downtrend structure, and then we could have planned a trade. But then again, around here, this low did not break. Market again went into sideways, and then again for momentary time period changed the structure to a higher high, higher low formation, but then immediately also breaking down below this, right? So I hope why no trading was done inside this particular range is very, very easy to understand and simple once you draw these lines. In case if you are facing difficulty in analyzing and finding uh, these swings, you can also switch your chart to this particular line chart, which will show you exactly what kind of a structure you are. You can see the highs and lows. But then the problem here is this takes the closing into accounting, right? So once we are using the candlesticks, we can see this particular high around here, but the line chart will be taking the closing around here. right? So that is the data point that the chart line chart takes, and that is the deficiency. But then again, it is easier if you try to understand the structure on this. You can use the path tool to draw the structure in case if it is not exactly very clear to you guys. Now, the only trade that I took was my entry was at the 225 candle when this particular low was broken. Now, the reason for that is extremely simple. Just jump to the 15 minutes time frame and you can see a very beautiful double top, right? Now, trades are taken on a 5 minutes time frame. Markets came up around here when I just discussed the structure, which was very ambiguous and there was no clear structure in the happening. But then this was an important low which was formed, which is also the neckline of the entire structure. As I told, markets around here change momentarily into a lower high, lower low structure. Sorry, higher high, higher low structure, but then immediately reversed. Do we take an entry? Do we jump into short trades? Absolutely not. We wait for the neckline to be broken. Neckline is broken, and the markets were very helpful today in the sense that they gave us a beautiful pullback, two beautiful inside bars. It cannot get any sweeter, any better than this. And then this low becomes our entry. As soon as this low is entered, you don't need to wait for any further confirmations. All the confirmations are right there on the chart. All you need to do is look at the structure, look at the chart, look at what the candles are trying to speak to you, right? The candles are showing extreme bearishness around here. Markets could not even break the day's high. And once this is broken, got a very beautiful pullback that we always need. Markets, short position entered here, stop loss just above the high of this pullback candle around here. Immediately, markets gave a very bumper trade. I exited as soon as this green candle was formed at around 250, right? So this was a doji candle. Now try to understand, this is the support zone that we had drawn. Markets came, took the support. The first bounce that came in absolutely from here, right? From this zone. As soon as market touched, it gave us this particular bounce. Now, sorry. Yeah, and this is the candle which fulfilled all the three conditions for my exit, which is since we're in a short trade, this candle has a higher high compared to the previous candle. Sorry, higher high compared to the previous candle, higher low compared to the previous candle, as well as the closing was above the high of this candle. So no emotions. As soon as this is there on the chart, I am exiting the trade, and this is what I did. A very good trade. Uh, what was helpful was during this fall, the India VIX today also jumped up around 6%, right? So you can see this was the fall that we are talking about, and around here, India VIX also jumped up, and that was the reason wherein we got good move in the options premium, which I was speaking about. That this is the problem that option buyers are facing right now is even if the spot chart is moving because of the low VIX, the option charts, the option premiums are not showing the equivalent amount of move. But then this is something which happened today, and a very good trade. I'm extremely happy with the way markets behaved, and everything was crystal clear. Okay, there was nothing left to doubt. So I hope today's day shows you the power of patience and to actually wait for your exact setup to form and not rush into things. Otherwise, this is the turbulence in which you could have gotten caught and taken a couple of SLs at least, right? So yeah, that was for today's trade. Now we'll be planning for tomorrow's trade. On the daily time frame, we have formed almost a doji around the support levels. Now, there are two ways to look at it, right? This is also a follow-through candle to yesterday's candle, which formed the reversal candle, which is the high was lower than previous candle's high. The low was lower than previous candle's low. We got a closing below prior candle's low. Exactly today, the high is lower than this high. The low is lower than this low, and we, of course, got a closing much below the previous day's low. So there are two ways to look at it, right? Number one, we broke out, we have come to retest, we are going up. Number two scenario, this is the uh, temporary top which has formed, and we have reversed and we are going down. So whatever it is, right now we are on a weekly fib resistance which has now turned into support, and will not be predicting anything. We'll simply be waiting for the markets to show us the direction. Now, if you guys remember, around here when the structure had changed on the, I'll just be on the 75 minutes time frame from a downtrend around here when the structure had changed, I had clearly shown you guys around here that this was the place where the structure had changed, right? And again on the 75 minutes time frame, we can see a structural change to a downward market, right? So this is something that we need to keep an eye on a 75 minutes time frame. The structure is right now higher, lower highs and lower lows. But then again, we are at a support level. That is something also we should not forget. For tomorrow, we don't need this. We'll keep the plan of action again. Very, very simple. Scenario number one, we get a breakdown of today's low with a pullback. We are ready to short. Scenario number two, we get a negative candle at the start of the day, which gives us a closing below today's low, and then the high of that candle gets taken out. This is the rare trade, but I will keep speaking about it on days where it looks it can happen. A lot will obviously depend on the opening and how the price reacts around the open time. But then, yes, this is something that we need to keep an eye on. And in case if this happens, we will be taking our short trades, sorry, long trades around this level. And this will be marking our resistance in case of a gap up opening or as well any negative price action. Sorry, any negative price action around these levels will be creating a short entry. Only above this will we look for a long trade, right? So the plan of action is very, very crystal clear. So don't get confused by this particular long trade around here. This is a trade which depends on a lot of confirmations. Number one, it has to happen at the start of the day. Number two, the market has to open flattish and then give a breakdown below today's low, which would invite fresh sellers. This is the logic that I'm giving. And once the high of that candle gets taken out, all those people who would have entered into fresh shorts, their stop losses would be triggered. And that is what we want to play, right? As a scalper, that is the move that we want to capture. This is a trap trading system. So be careful around these levels. Okay, this is the support area which is there on the weekly time frame. We need to be careful about trades on the short side, so we'll be trailing tightly. As usual, tomorrow is the expiry, so make sure to be very, very careful with your trades. Do not just because options are cheap, and even after my disclaimer, you are still going to trade in tomorrow's options. Do not overload your positions just because the options are cheap, right? Try to understand the total risk that is involved. Try to calculate in case if the trade is going to hit a stop loss, what is the max stop loss that is coming out to be the logical stop loss, and if you are ready to take that stop loss, right? So do all these things before entering into trades. And yeah, so that wraps up today's analysis. Remember, the key is not just knowing the levels, but also having the patience to act only when the market aligns with your setup. I'll be back tomorrow with another trade plan. Until then, trade safe, stay disciplined, and keep learning every day. In case you have not liked the video, please hit the like button, share the video with your friends and circle, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop down any of your thoughts in the comments, whatever it is. I will be open to anything. And I'll take your leave. Thanks and cheers for watching.